Good evening, everyone. I'm Mayor William Cogswell. Appreciate you all joining us here tonight. We're going to talk about the latest update with Hurricane Debbie, or excuse me, Tropical Storm Debbie, but she's acting like a hurricane. We just got this information about 15 minutes ago from the National Weather Service. Unfortunately, it's not great news. We are anticipating between midnight tonight and 10 a.m. tomorrow, 10 to 12 inches of rainfall. So we have made the decision that we are going to close down the peninsula and issue a curfew for the peninsula starting at 11 p.m. tonight. And we will reassess at 10 a.m. in the morning and hold another press conference at that time. The concerns are also that we're going to have tropical storm force winds. There are isolated tornadoes that are possible. So we urge everybody to stay inside, stay indoors, and do not travel. If you need to get off the peninsula, we urge you to do that now. If you live on the peninsula, please shelter in place. We will have emergency vehicles, high water vehicles located at all 8 arteries in and out of the city for emergency purposes only. So again, let me stress, that is for emergency purposes only. I do want to also give a shout out to all the folks that have been working hard really since Saturday. Everybody from the folks picking up the garbage today to cleaning out the storm drains to the police and fire departments. They really have gone above and beyond. And I can say that I believe we are prepared for this event. But again, let me stress, for your own safety and the safety of the emergency responders, please stay indoors. Do not go out. This is a lot of water coming our way, and we need to take it very, very seriously. So with that, I will open it up for any questions.
When we're talking about this much water, especially we know hospitals in the city, some of them are flood prone.
Right.
What concerns do you have just as far as making sure people stay off the road, make sure those routes for emergency responders are open? And are there concerns that we could see flooding to a level that could prevent first responders from reaching the hospitals?
Again, we do have high water vehicles that are going to be available at all, accessible to all 8 arteries to the city. So we're trying to contemplate for that. You know, it may be, we don't know when the 10 to 12 inches are going to go or come. Could come in 2 or 3 bands. It could come in 10 bands. So we're not sure what the concentration is going to be, but we've stressed and asked repeatedly, are you sure about this 10 to 12 inches between midnight and 10 a.m.? And we have been told, yes, that is what we can expect.
Mayor, it just all thoroughfares in and out of the city will be closed down to traffic at all.
Starting at 11 p.m., we have issued a curfew. So yes, starting at 11 p.m. So we need people to make their way out. This is not something that you can, stay at the bar till 10:45. We need you to take this seriously. Again, there are a lot of folks that are going to be working around the clock to make sure that people are safe. So it's important that people heed this warning and take it very seriously.
Do you have any update on the parking garages, if there's space left in them or not?
I believe we do have some spaces. I can get exact locations of what's open. All the garages should be open or are open. How many spaces are left? I don't know specifically, but we can find that out.
I know you mentioned this morning that you had requested some additional pumps from Governor McMaster. Is he able to meet that request?
We do have additional pumps coming, and we're looking at different locations, not just on the peninsula, but actually in certain areas, potential areas, West Ashley, to deploy them.
Are there certain areas that you're really focused on now outside of the peninsula that, could be in trouble over the next 12 to 24 hours?
Again, in known areas that tend to flood, like for example, 61 coming off the Ashley River Bridge typically will be underwater. Church Creek and certain areas off of Bees Ferry, 526 has a bowl in it too. So we're looking at having barricades available to block those off. We're going to make a decision as the weather dictates.
So will there be like officers at all of the different entry points to the city?
Yes, yes. We will have each of those entrance points, staff. We're also going to have officers deployed in other parts of the city too. This is not just the peninsula. It just happens to be the most flood prone. And so, you know, we're going to have coverage for sure. But again, this news just came in about 15 minutes ago. So this is hot off the press.
So you guys are planning to close down I-26 going into the peninsula?
It will be, the exact location will be, yes, coming in, and we'll put notices up at exits beforehand.
Is there any information for essential workers, first responders, hospital personnel, if they do have to work overnight shifts? Will they still be able to travel before the worst impacts? And should they
Yeah,
bring
look, I
anything
mean,
with them?
we're gonna, you know, if you have an emergency or if you're part of hospital staff, I mean, there will be staff people at those barricades that'll let you in. You know, we're just trying to keep people safe. Allie, you?
Yes, well, is the curfew specifically for the peninsula?
Yes.
Travel within the peninsula or just on to and off of?
It would be both. Really, we don't need people driving around. We are going to start putting up barricades on the peninsula, which is a little bit redundant because we don't want people going anywhere, but there are going to be a few people that may be stuck and we don't need them going into floodwater. So again, if you live on the peninsula, we're asking you, imploring you to stay put. If you work on the peninsula, you need to leave before 11 p.m.
What is your message to people who are concerned hearing this message tonight? They were on the fence whether or not they should leave ahead of time or not. We know we've still got a few hours before the worst impacts. People listening to this, they live in flood prone areas, they've been through this before. What is your message to them now that we still have about 6 hours before the worst impacts could get here?
Again, I think take all necessary precautions, but make sure you put you obviously and your family's safety first. You know, we are focused on and prepared for any emergency rescues that may need to happen, but we're hoping we don't get to that. And so, you know, look, we've been saying since Saturday, this is the real deal. And we hope people have taken that to heart. Well, it's kind of a little bit sooner than we thought, just in terms of the intensity of the rain coming in. Look, you know, this is what's brought forth this urgent action.
I apologize if you said this in the initial announcement, but are there going to be any fines for people who are out traveling unnecessarily tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're out joyriding, we're going to do everything we can to reckless travel, whatever charges we can do, but absolutely we'll enforce it. Our no wake vote is coming up at the next city council meeting, but there are plenty of, I think, citations that we can give people. They need to, again, people need to take this serious because when you're doing stuff like that, you're not only putting your own lives in danger, but you're putting emergency responders' lives in danger, and it's no joke. So you need to stay put, and I can assure you, if you know you want to joyride, we're gonna bring the hammer down.
I did want to ask quick, not just with the rainfall, but with the storm surge that is being forecasted. We touched on this yesterday. What are the concerns with so much rain, so much storm surge that we're going to have drainage issues? I mean, we know you said yesterday the system is going to struggle to keep up with this.
That's right.
The level of storm surge we're expecting, is it even going to be working at points, being able to move that water out of the streets and into the bays, into the river?
Again, we don't know. The good news is, if there is some, a bit of a silver lining is that we have the high tide is tonight at 10 p.m. and then again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So in terms of a tide cycle, it's about as good as it can get. But we do have concerns about, you know, how fast and how concentrated that rain might be. That's the unknown. And if it comes at a point in the tide cycle where it can't drain out, yeah, it's going to back up. We do hope, though, that given the hours, that it can be distributed a little bit so it does give it a chance to drain.
That's all we have for questions. Thanks,
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all.
Busy day.
Okay. I was living in Rhode Island, over 70 degrees. And
Thank you.